The Nissan Z is one of the longest running nameplates in the sports car game, going all the way back to when Nissan was actually called Datsun here in the United States, with the Datsun 240, 260, and 280. They have gone through several generations since then, and so today we're going to be taking a look at two different ones 20 years apart. This 2025 Nissan Z, as well as this 2006 Nissan 350Z. We're going to talk about the differences in engine and drivetrain, the differences in interior, as well as how they drive. So come on. Starting off under the hood, the 350Z from 2006 comes with a 3.5-liter V6. Now this one here makes 300 horsepower. However, if you got the automatic transmission, it actually made 287. So this made a little bit more power because you got the manual, and as I mentioned, it is paired to a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, these engines were known for having a little bit of oil issues, but they're also pretty stout and they make good power and torque. The Nissan Zs have always had 6 cylinders, so the 350 was no different. Under the hood of the 2025 Z, you will find a V6 as well. However, it has gone down 0.5 liters in displacement, making this a 3-liter V6. However, they have added twin turbos, which up it from 300 horsepower in the 350 to now 400 horsepower here in the Z Performance. Now, here in 2025, you can also get the Z Nismo, which comes with 420 horsepower. However, that only comes with the automatic, and we're doing a more base for base comparison. So 400 horsepower found here in the twin turbo V6 that was originally used in the Infiniti Q50 series. So you might see a little bit of familiarity there. Inside the 2006 Nissan 350Z, it feels cheap. And there's reason for that. So in the late 1990s, Nissan was not very profitable because the Japanese who ran Nissan at the time would not compromise on quality. No matter what, they needed quality, solid interiors. So around 1998, they hired Carlos Ghosn to be the head of Nissan, and he was not Japanese. And so he had no problem taking quality out of the cars to start making a profit. Now, this was good for Nissan. They actually made money, which is kind of what a business is supposed to do. However, the quality of their cars started to drop pretty drastically. Cheaper plastics were used, less fasteners were used, and anywhere they could save a nickel, they did. So you get a lot of plasticness in here. And although this particular example only has 33,000 miles, you get some chipping around the shifter. The leather has not aged super well, and this is by far the nicest 350Z interior I've ever been in. That speaks a lot because most of them I've been in look like there was a tiger let loose in the interior and it tried to claw its way out. So this is as nice as it gets, and it ain't really that nice. Now, something to note is that we do get the gauges up in the center, the 3 symmetrical gauges that were mimicked in the modern Nissan Z. The interior of the new Z is a nicer place to be. Now, they have stepped up their game with interior materials. As you can see, this has a blue interior, which was never offered on the 350Z. However, there are a lot of screens. You get wireless Apple CarPlay with a touchscreen, a backup camera, and a completely digital gauge cluster where physical gauges once sat in the 350Z. You also get 3 gauges up on the dash, a signature of the Z series. However, something you will notice is the door handle over here. This is pretty much the exact same part as what you would find 20 years ago in the 350Z. I also do fit a little bit better in the modern Z. It is a little bit more spacious, so if size is a concern, I would definitely go with the newer rather than the older, but let's get them out on the road. So driving the 350Z, we are down 100 horsepower and only down 150-ish pounds. So this might be a little bit close. I do enjoy the low end of the 350Z with that 0.5 more of displacement. Driving around town, it feels torquier, but the new Z definitely makes more powers. All right, so driving the 2025 Z, I like this a lot better. You have a little bit less download torque. You do miss that 0.5 liters, but once you get out of the bottom of the rev range, it is a lot better. Those twin turbos sing, 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 and I love it. However, let's see what's what. Now, go. Now. Now. Honestly, the 350Z felt slower than I thought it was going to. Maybe I'm used to the new Z now, but yeah, that felt quite a bit faster. I have to say I'm not as impressed as I thought I was going to be. I guess the numbers will show, but I'm very curious to see how much faster, but that definitely felt faster. The sound of the 350Z too, that is such a signature sound where the new Z doesn't really have that like trademark. Now, some people don't like the sound of this car, but at least it's notable. And I have to say, the new Z is a better driving experience. The clutch in this is friendlier. The steering is lighter. All of the controls in here are just more user-friendly. Now, if you're coming from a Camaro, you might like a 350Z a little bit better because it's gonna feel more stiff, more muscly than this car. This definitely feels a lot more tuner-ish, which is what I prefer, but it might not be what you do. So, no matter which Z you prefer, whether it be this 350, the brand new Z, or a Z32 twin turbo, maybe you like the 300ZX, whatever it might be, Nissan has been able to achieve one thing throughout all these vehicles, and that is remain true to the original formula. 6-cylinder, 2-door, rear-wheel drive sports car. And that's not super easy to do here in the modern era where hybridization and 4-cylinder turbos seem to reign king. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little comparison video of the 350Z and the Nissan Z. If you have any comments or if you want to see other comparison videos, please let me know down in the comments below and let me know which Z you would take home free of cost. Take care, guys.